I'm taking notes for you, so you can just relax.
Okay.
What did you say, Jackie?
I'm taking notes for you, so you can just relax.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, call to order. Let's do this.
Yes, meeting called to order at 6:38. So thank you for joining us today. This is our January meeting. And we have kind of a lot on the menu or on the agenda, so we will see. Okay. So Happy New Year. Welcome back. First one of the new year. So just wanted to quickly say that. Here's our agenda for today. We have minutes we have to approve. We do have to approve both November and December. And then we'll go over the treasurer's report, some one-minute updates, deep dive topics, grant requests, and then just open discussion. So here are our minutes from November 6th. I had posted these obviously back in December, but we didn't have all of our board on to be able to approve it. So we are going to go ahead and do that tonight. So can I have a motion to approve these minutes?
I will motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
I motion to approve. Yes.
Okay,
I second.
awesome. Okay, so November minutes are approved. These are the December minutes from last month. I posted these in our meeting. I think in our meeting this month. So hopefully everyone's able to look over those. So can I have a motion to approve our December minutes?
I will motion to approve.
Can I have
I
a second?
second.
Thank you, Dallas. Okay, minutes are done. Okay, treasurer's report. Jackie?
Okay, so there's a lot of money coming out, which looks kind of scary, and a lot of money going in as well. So, I think, let's see, let me just pull up my detailed better thing. So part of December for this money, going out, wasn't as much as the money coming out in January. Because in December, we deposited it all. So the money from the holiday house was like $7,418.10. That all got deposited in, and then we paid for what we bought afterwards, which is what came out. So then we kept the difference for the holiday house that way. So we have the holiday bucks that all went in, all of the money went in for holiday bucks. That families bought for teachers,
Mhm.
and then we had to write and then go and buy them. So the money
where the
in
teacher-
versus the money out, looks weird because all of the money that you guys sent in went in, and then we had to pay out. So,
Yep.
and then we have also just, some new checks that we had to order for financials, teacher reimbursements, the custodians, checks for, Boo Bash finally got paid out. And then the biggest one that got paid out was the other half of our marquee sign, which was close to 10 grand. So that is why it looks so
Well, and our
scary
holiday
big.
shop was almost $6 grand too. So that's where a lot of our money
So, the
went.
money in, I think we gotta fix that money in, I mean,
Okay,
because I have in December money in being $9,536. And then that would then go with the money out for the
Got it.
sign and the.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks scarier than it is. Our ending balance right now to date is 10,590.55.
Yep.
So our big payments of the marquee, the holiday house, and the
that have been stressing us out to get out of the pay.
holiday bucks script payments.
Yes.
Yeah, so it balances out. In the end, it just looks weird.
Yes, it
here.
does. Okay. Thank you. Okay, 1 minute update. So we finally got our payment for Spiritwear. We did this back in November. Our final amount raised was $67.18. So thank you for that. Dining event. So we have our next dining event coming up this weekend. It's actually going to be Friday and Saturday at Lakes Pancake House down Route 173. So thank you, Dallas, for setting that up. We will all you have to do is just mention the Petty Boosters and we will receive 10% from any sales. Oh, and it is dine-in or carry out. So I was just gonna ask that because I forgot. But all the flyers for that came home today. So hopefully families are starting to see that come home. Teacher reimbursement, just a reminder, we have final receipts due January at the end of this month, so January 31st. We've had a good amount that have come in. We do have some that recently came in that we still need to pay out, so I'm not sure exactly on the actual total of how many have done it. I think we were on like 16, 17, but we're probably up at more than that now. So we will give a final update of that one next month. So teachers, make sure you get your receipts in. So this past Friday, we had our second kids night out of the year. So thank you to everyone who came. Thank you to all of our volunteers. Honestly, our volunteers help make it happen because we can't run it without them. So we had about 15 volunteers between parents and high school students. We had 160 kids show up. So we had a profit of 916, which is awesome. Kids got to enjoy games in the gym, in the multi-purpose room. We had karaoke going. They had coloring, and then we had Ice Age Continental Drift set up in the library. So the kids always have a great time at this. We will hold one more this year. We usually hold about 3. So I think we're going to maybe think around April-ish, possibly, for our next and final one of the year. So thank you to everyone who came. Hope the kids had a blast. Marquee updates. The sign is up and working and it's done and we're so excited and I'm sure everyone else is excited. A huge thank you to everyone who helped make this happen. This was our big fundraising goal last year and we did the fun run last year to help finish raising the money for it, and we did it and exceeded it and it was awesome. A huge thanks goes out to our head custodial, Mendez. He handled all of the behind the scene work with the village, with meetings and phone calls and installation. And then also a huge thank you to Christina from last year, our president last year. She was the brains behind all of this and we just helped carry it to fruition and get it up and running. And I hope the office staff and petty staff are enjoying it. So, yes, Mrs. Lavad, we will get to that in a little bit. Sorry, Mrs. Lavad had a quick question about another kids' night out. So thank you. I know we have a few things that we're still, I think, maybe trying to get approved, but the basic of the sign is ready to go and up and running, and it looks fabulous. So thank you to everyone. All right, deep dive topics. So excited for the new sign. Now I can just need to learn how to program it better. Yes, Mrs. Garrettson, I'm sure it is quite the task to try and figure it all out. Sorry. Okay. So our next fundraiser idea that we are considering, is we would love to be able to create an outdoor learning center for our teachers and students. That would include picnic tables similar to what's in the picture and possibly some like sail shades to help with the sun and everything. So this is an idea we would love to have and love to run, and run with. I know there's been staff who have voiced interest in something like this. So we have a couple ideas of how we could go about doing this. We could do another fun run like we did last year. And then, or we could do a readathon idea. I think Jackie can explain the readathon a little bit more than better than I can, because it's kind of been her idea from the start. So I will pass this on to Jackie.
So the readathon is kind of like just like the fun run. You go and ask people to sponsor your reading. So it would help kind of push the literacy, and we could do it during like a month long.
Yep.
The idea would be like kids get like a bookmark and they can fill out their reading minutes each day, turn it in on a Friday, and then on the next Monday, they'll get kind of like swag to show everyone how much they've read and how much they've earned. My sister's son has done it at their school in New York. They had like pins for their backpacks that we talked about, maybe like those bracelets or something to like show off how much you read. The reading could be anything from homework to parents reading to you, audiobooks. If you're reading, you're earning minutes. We thought maybe we might be able to work with maybe the librarian and do like with Read Across America Week, kind of incorporated into that maybe. And then the fun run is people can sponsor you either like a one-time donation or like by minutes that you read. We're still working out the details a little bit, but that would be an idea. And then we could still have a competition with most minutes read for
Yeah.
classrooms, top earner, kind of like we did with the fun run.
Right.
But make it more literacy based.
Yeah.
So
And then we also had the idea of ending it or somewhere around it doing like a masked reader.
yes.
And so having staff members wear a mask, or where we saw an idea of like the blow up Halloween costume, and they would be a reader and the kids would have to guess who's reading, and it could turn into this whole thing. And we thought it would be really fun. So
if they reach their goal.
yeah, if
maybe
they
that
reach their
could
goal.
Be a way to promote it even more.
Yeah.
So
So I don't know.
It's still in the works.
It's
We're
still in the
getting-
works. I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on it.
Let
But
us know. The fun run being so close at the end of the year was a little difficult last year.
Yeah.
I think we were scrambling at the end, so we were trying to think of ways to incorporate other not just gym, but like the library,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
yeah.
And also maybe not make it as stressful for
Yeah.
everyone.
So, but and the readathon helps like obviously build that those reading skills and everything, and we would count anything that they're doing. So even if it's like, we know kindergarten, they don't take iPads home. If they can't do stuff at home, then maybe a class read that they're doing would count and things like that. So we would still have ways that, or even families that can't read at night, like have ways of incorporating the reading minutes into from the school day as well. So still in the works, but that's kind of like our idea and thought process behind getting this to happen. So, keep more to come, keep an eye. Yep.
Get it.
Yep,
Get our
definitely.
ramps going.
Yeah. So, okay. Next, spring showcase. So we have the district this year, instead of doing their open house, they decided to try a spring showcase this year. So we have dates of April 8th will be for kindergarten through second grade students, and then April 9th would be third grade through fifth grade. Boosters have been invited to join the showcase. And we actually have Christina here from the district who is going to help kind of talk to us about what to expect, and I think kind of give us an idea of what they're looking for from us. So.
Right, and I'll talk loud, but if you can't hear me, let me know. So I'm Christina Gunther, I'm Director of Curriculum Instruction. And so I help facilitate what teachers use to teach with. But in addition to that, there's many other topics that I work on. And over the years, we've been collecting data on the curriculum night attendance, and the attendance has declined over time. And thinking about today's day and age and thinking about the way of technology, staff can distribute information quite quickly through things like Google Classroom and Seesaw. And so one of the things that we advocated for and were able to change for this school year is changing, like mentioned, curriculum night into a celebration in the spring. So we labeled it Spring Showcase for this school year. Think of it as an open house. So students will be invited with their families, and the students will be the advocates, and the students will be the tour guide, and they will be exemplifying and going through information, and it could look a little different in different environments in our building. So for example, in a younger classroom, the students might show off their Lexia Core 5 graphs on their iPads with their families. Or they might be opening up a portfolio of their writing. In the older grades, it might look a little differently where they are, have models set up in the classroom like a gallery walk, and they're walking their family through work that they've conducted in their classroom recently. And, they were all collaborative activities that fifth graders did. And so one of the things that I'm doing as outreach is meeting with different groups or entities to try to promote the idea of celebrating with us. And so I'm taking the opportunity to stop at each boosters. And this, I think, is the last group that I'm speaking with. And the invitation that I'm providing, it doesn't have to be this, but I do have a small planning committee of a couple teachers that will be working with me just to kind of finalize anything and see if there's consistency that we can build across the buildings. So for the boosters, I'm going to advocate for them that we leave the cafeteria or the multi-purpose room open for the boosters. And then what could that look like for the boosters of each of the buildings? It could range, it could look a little different. So for example, it could be as simple as having a table with some information. It could be that the AUGS boosters are at the elementary schools because they want to recruit for the fifth grade with the fifth grade parents in the spring coming over to AUGS, or just share information as well. So opening it up for the AUGS booster to be over at the elementary buildings for the fifth graders. It could look as simple as passing out some flyers. It could be a little bit more involved where, for example, and these are the ideas of the other boosters, where they have an opportunity to do a craft. They have an opportunity, maybe that the craft is too involved and, it causes some planning and some financial commitment. So maybe it's something that the boosters already have. So like pick a duck. And then, how like it's Dave and Buster's, like you get a number and it's a simple from a little ring to, something more elaborate, which it doesn't take a lot to set up. And it's the kids, think about it's for kids and their families. So what would the students enjoy? So it does not have to be an engagement activity. It could be just an informational table or, informational night. But we are definitely open to possibilities. I'm going to be taking the initiative to type up all the information I gathered from, which is pretty minimal, but from each of the boosters, and I'll send out an email in the email chain that I started with all the boosters so that we have all the same information. And the plans don't necessarily need to be like decided this month or in the next 2 weeks. We're trying to get ahead of this. So it's the end of January right now. And this event does take place in April, as mentioned. I believe the second date might be wrong on your slide. I'm gonna double check.
Okay,
But
I
think
went
it
off
might
the
be April
calendar.
11th
Okay,
instead of the 9th.
okay, I could have read the
Good grade
calendar
level,
wrong.
same grade levels, 3
Yeah.
through 5, but it might be April 11th.
Okay,
Okay, and then, so for the teachers, they might also, the families, they might be exploring the building and going into the gym and doing something. They might be going to the library and doing something, in the classrooms doing something. So it's really, really meant to be that the students are taking ownership and that the students are walking through the building with their families and exploring the environment. Some of our families might not really have been in and seen the opportunity since the construction. So that's a nice opportunity. Meet and greet is a little crazy when you
Mhm.
drop off your supplies and you're kind of
Yeah.
in and out. So taking the opportunity just to celebrate, part of our strategic plan, that's one of our goals as well, is to celebrate learning. And so that we thought this would be a nice way in addition to the other ways that we do it. It's not just about academic achievement, but the whole child and their families and really the community. And so we're reaching out to, other organizations too, to see if they would like to be part of it, like the Champions program that we run in our buildings, things like that. So that's a little bit of information. Like I said, there's no definite, we need this, that we need this financial commitment. It's as big as what you want to create. We are asking for just a little bit of some consistency. Like we don't want one building to go out and have like, a food truck and, carnival in the, in there, in the multi-purpose room. So just trying to stay a little bit, simple in nature, especially for this first year when we're all just trying to get our legs underneath us and doing it for the first time. Don't want to bite off more than we can chew.
Okay.
So, all the boosters have my contact information. So I will, again, just to recap, send an email out saying thank you for meeting and all the time that the boosters provided me to share the information. And here's a recap of some of the ideas that the boosters had. And then, we'll go from there.
Okay.
Do you have questions or thoughts that you wanna?
In the past, we've always done maybe like an ice cream social, things just to get families in and seeing us. We usually have always handed out information for like, here's our year in review, things that we've done in the past. Maybe it might be good to get like just poster boards and pictures of events and
Mhm.
things like that, almost to
Yeah.
showcase like things that the kids have done. We have
Even the
talked,
kids could reminisce like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
remember we did that?
we
I
have
mean,
talked,
your digital sign is a huge
Yes.
celebration.
Yes.
We should like blow up a poster.
I said we
and do
needed to
that.
get like a ribbon cutting after
Yeah.
everything that happened with that. We've also talked in the past about, and it's never come to fruition,
Yeah,
is getting, while you have all of the booster presidents. But passing out something, especially to the preschool
that was-
parents.
does Mary Kay
Mary-
McNeil, are they gonna do something like this or?
Yes, they're hosting on, if you just give me a second here to flip in my phone. They are hosting on April 9th from
Okay.
5 to.
Joanna
6
did
p.m.
confirm it's the 11th,
Okay,
so.
thank you.
Okay, so.
So
Just
would,
April
would,
9th.
would the boosters from, would all those boosters
ELC
be
like
able
to
to
come
go
up.
in there? Because we've wanted to try, cause we've had a lot of kindergarten families saying like, we don't even know you guys exist. We don't know what you guys do. And
Especially if they're the first. Kid in.
right, it's,
Right,
yes.
like, not,
Yeah, they're brand new
yes.
families.
not
to
the second or
And-
third kid along
and-
the line, they can figure that
Yeah.
out, but the first one in,
And over the summer, I know they held the popsicles with principals to try with those new kinder families. And so we were invited to go to that and that was great, but it just wasn't like the best turnout. So, but we've been like, can we have something that, even if we create a flyer for all those families that have
QR
all of our
codes or
booster
something.
information of all the 3 grade, one flyer with all the 3 schools would even be beneficial to like our website or whatever, just to give them like information about like
Yeah,
what we
to
do
help
and
them
things
get
like that.
involved ahead of time and.
Yeah,
And it doesn't necessarily mean you need manpower over at the Mary Kay McNeil
Correct.
Learning Center on that night, but
Right.
distributing information.
Yeah.
Mhm. And those are the types of things that I was hoping to get from all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street. And, you know, me personally coming out and I could have just sent this information to the principals,
Mhm.
but trying to showcase that partnership, even at
Yeah.
the district level, that we really appreciate all the work that you all do. And how can we continue to help you? So
Right.
Definitely, I will put those in the notes. So I just recapped in my.
Especially because it's just a community of parents and, you know, kindergarten parents are like, how do I even put lunch money on this? Like, now you've got a whole group of people you can ask ahead of time.
Right.
And like, can you help, you know, like, oh, my neighbor might be able to, you know, or
Right.
someone else. Silly things like that, you know, that you're like, oh, log in here, you know.
Joanna gave the idea of doing like a picture collage or like we would pull this in there and running it through
Yeah.
and just having like a slideshow running through of it.
Yeah.
That would be a great idea.
I was
Less
thinking
work.
old school. like-
Less-
But, you know.
I mean, we can maybe do that for Mary Kay McNeil, but maybe for us. Or we have a big board to show off now.
And then
So.
why I have you,
Mhm.
I had mentioned that I was gonna be visiting with all the boosters and we at the district level are just looking for a liaison from each building, a parent or family member that would like to review our handbook with us. So I don't know if any of you have been involved in that in the past, but it's called the Teacher Advisory Committee, where we take the opportunity just to go through the track changes of what's being modified in there. So if you wouldn't all mind, just to kind of talk amongst
Yeah.
yourself and then just email me.
Okay.
And I can bounce, you should have my. email
Yeah,
address,
I do.
but
Yeah.
If you could just send me a name that I can
Okay.
reach out to, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Okay. That sounds good.
So that's it, but
Okay.
just look for communication from me, and then I'm gonna put all these ideas together. And then what my hope or dream would be is that, we can just kind of all, correspond digitally.
Yeah.
Or I can give you some additional information and say like, oh, I could check in with each of the buildings saying, okay, out of the laundry list, which ones are you thinking
Yeah.
of boosters, and then put that together.
Okay.
And then share with all the boosters.
Okay,
Because you all, aren't together on a regular basis,
Yeah.
so just behind the scenes to orchestrate some communication between everyone. Okay,
perfect.
well, thank you.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
your
We
time.
appreciate you coming. For sure. We're excited. Okay, next is, launch events. So Launch in Gurnee is like the trampoline place. So they do fundraisers, and I actually reached out to them to kind of get an idea of like how it works. And basically what happens is our event could be scheduled on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It would happen from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. And it's a flat fee of $20. Grip socks, the grip socks that are required for them are not included in the price, but if you have some already that you can bring them, or they have them there for purchase. But basically the $20 gets you 3 hours of, access to their trampoline attractions, which include dodgeball, ninja course, warped wall, air track basketball court, battle pit, and the freestyle trampolines. And then the percent back to us depends on the number of attendees we have. So it starts as low as 10%, and I think it goes up to 30%. But we thought this would be something fun to, put out there for our families if they wanted to do it, and, have a change of scenery with the winter and everything. So, I don't know, we were thinking maybe schedule something in like February or early February or something. Let's see. Kids only.
And it's not,
Families too.
it's not a drop off.
Yes, it's not a drop-off event. This isn't something that like we're there supervising or anything. This is strictly just something for the family, take the family out to go do something exciting. Mrs. Garrettson is in, and so that should be sell enough to get to go there.
I don't know, because it's a 4-day weekend, so I don't know how many people would go out of town, but that February
February.
16th, the kids are off.
Yeah,
Might just be something to do when they've been stuck in the house with their families all day and they want to get out.
Yep. Yep, we could definitely look into that. I can reach out, reach out to them and look into that date for sure. So yeah, so I think we're gonna go ahead and look into a possible date. So keep an eye out for further communication on this. Or during spring break, we could do, yeah, okay. Okay, perfect. So next is, okay, Feed My Starving Children. So I know we've talked a little bit about this, about wanting to do something. It's no cost to anyone aside from just showing up and volunteering your time for them. So the timeframes are that would work for our group, for the school would be on weekdays. So Monday through Friday, they have like a 4:30 to 6:15 time slot, or a 7 to 8:45 time slot. And then they have Saturday, and then they're only open Monday through Saturday. So then Saturdays would be anywhere from like one slot would be 9 to 10:45, 11:30 to 1:15, 2 to 3:45, 4:30 to 6:15, 7 to 8:45. So with this, it literally just comes down to picking a date and kind of deciding how many spots we want to have open to people. I think they max out at like 150 spots. So basically how it will work though is like we reserve the date, we reserve the time and the number of slots we have, and then we're assigned a code, and then families use that code to sign up. So, my thought was that like February 19th, it's a no school day with President's Day. I know but there's lots of dates. There's lots of opportunities. It's just a matter of how many spots would we want to have. But right now with what I looked at for President's Day, like the 4 to 6:15 has, not 4, I think it's 4:30 to 6:15. I think it's 4:30 to 6:15. Has like 51 slots, but then the 7 to 8:45 has 150 slots available. So, there are rules, with the amount of volunteers based on the age level of the child. So if there's any kindergartners, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. If there's, first and second graders, I think it's a 3-to-1. So you have to have one adult for every 3 kids. If you have,
First through third.
I don't know, I would have to look. I did screenshot it. But so it's just a matter of figuring out, making sure we have the appropriate volunteer number. Now their recommendation would be third grade and third, fourth, and fifth would be ideal to them for doing the volunteering, but they do allow younger grades to go. It's just, it gets tricky with those numbers of making sure there's enough parents to the kids. So,
Basically, if you have a kindergartner, you gotta bring more than one parent.
if you're bringing more than one kid, yes,
Yeah,
yes, essentially.
essentially.
So, but I can share out the information about like what the rules actually are. But I don't know, what is everyone's thoughts on like how many slots we want to reserve? I mean, I think we can always adjust if we don't get enough, because like you reserve like the full spots, I think. You reserve however many, and then those are held for you, and then I don't know how we can,
When we
with
give
it, with,
final
when we
numbers.
give final numbers and things like that, so.
My personal thought is having a younger one, the 7 to 8:45 is a hard time.
Yes.
slot. Bedtimes, not so good.
Right,
Getting there at 4:30 though.
is tight with,
Is tight on a normal, like, not day off.
Right.
Like for, the
So would
9 to
we-
5, families that
Right.
exist.
would we prefer a Saturday then?
I mean, I personally think Saturdays would be better, but there are
Okay.
sports going on, so
Uh-huh.
that's another thing to think about.
Okay,
I don't know, it's basketball probably right now, floor hockey, trying to think of.
okay.
What's going on, I don't know.
Right, I mean, and from the looks of it, from just like the little bit of browsing I did, it seemed that like the 11:30 and then the 2 o'clock time slot were like the ones that filled the fastest, because I feel like that would probably be those 3 middle, so like even 6:30 to 6:15 or 4:30 to 6:15, I think would be, those 3 would be like the ideal time.
Yeah,
And, yeah, Dallas feels like we could fill 150 easily, the weekend, the weekend option personally, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking
I mean,
probably
even the
Saturdays.
4:30 to 6:15 might be hard for like dinner time. I mean, some
Yeah.
kids are so regimented in.
Well, yeah. Okay, so do we want anywhere between 100 and 150, whatever we can get? Okay, so let me look online and see what they have in that 11:30 and 2 o'clock time frame. And then I'll kind of see what dates are out there, and then I did put a survey out to, on our Facebook on if families would be interested in this, and everyone that did it said they'd be interested. So, I think it's a great way to give back. It's a great way because it's not, I mean, it's a great organization. Our school just did it, with all of our 6th and 7th graders, and then our 8th graders are doing it in the spring. But it's a good learning experience. It's no cost to families. So I think that would be something that's good. We also have like Bernie's Book Bank. Maybe that would be something better for maybe the younger ones too, that we could always look into as well. So, all right, let me look into the dates, around to see what's available for these time slots, and then we will go from there. So, okay. So March 9th event. So last year we tried to do like a parents' night out event. We didn't have a ton of interest that would have offset some of the costs that went into it. So we ended up canceling last year. And a lot of it came down to like the venue and everything too. So the venue for this year, what we did was we reserved the VFW in Antioch right away with the night. And right now we have a reservation of March 9th for an event in whatever event we want. So we could do another parents' night out. We could do a family dance night instead. We are still in the works with the DJ we reserved last year for our event. We were able to push our reservation with him. We just need to see if he is available on this night to see if he would be able to do it. But we could have the DJ, we could do trivia, we could do bingo. We could have a food truck, we could have provide food options. So we're still kind of working out the kinks of this and figuring out exactly what we would like to do. But right now, I know we have that. There is a $200 cost for the venue. I did finally hear from them. So, since we are a school organization. So,
Okay. Really, at this point, this event is kind of just trying to recoup the money that we put out last year.
yeah.
I think our venue did turn around and let us use some of that
Yes, we
money
were able to use some of that
for
money. A deposit.
Teacher Appreciation Week, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So the DJ money though, that's out there, we're hoping to use.
Mhm.
So that's where kind of the family dance night idea maybe came in for like I was thinking like, the daddy-daughter dance that's huge, but maybe like a family dance night, or the DJ does do trivia. It didn't seem like a lot of parents were
Interested in trivia.
but I don't know if more would be interested in it if it was like a family
Theme.
trivia themed.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Disney that every kid
Yeah.
knows or something. So really we're open to ideas and suggestions and what you be interested in. If we were to host a night, just parents, families, whatever ideas you have, send them our way.
Yes. Alright, so just keep that in the back of your mind, that we are looking into something to do. We're hoping to hear from the DJ in the week, hopefully.
Teachers night out.
Could do teachers night out, yep.
I don't
Teachers,
know.
you're in for that. We'll join you, obviously. Being teachers ourselves. I think we have to actually
We'll
work
do
it
it
though.
after, we'll move the date till after spring break with that long haul and you're.
Oh,
days
yeah.
off until the end of the year.
Yeah.
We'll do it then.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, so we do have this event coming up. So yeah, just keep it in mind. So a future dining event. So right now, for sure, we have Lakes Pancake House this weekend, but then we also have our annual Battle of the Schools coming up on March 4th. I believe that is D34 day, I think is why we
Yes.
did that day. So, Antioch Pizza Battle of the Schools. We go against obviously Hillcrest and Oakland. I believe we won last year. I think Oakland won the first year. And we won last year, and I think we're the smallest population. So it will be for Lindenhurst location and Antioch location. Oh, that's a good idea, Joanna. For the March 9th event, if it's adults only, a painting party or a sign making night.
Oh,
That'd be fun.
it would be.
So yeah, Antioch Pizza, Battle of the Schools. That will be coming soon. Some other ideas we're looking at, we've done Jersey Mike's, we've done Culver's. We're hoping for Culver's in April.
Or May.
April or May. The thing with that is like, they like to have us provide volunteers to help run the food, because it's usually obviously a busier night. So in the past, when I've done it with our school, it's been teachers have signed up for a time slot and they're helping run the food out to cars and things like that. And it's always been a fun, or even running food to tables. It's always been a fun event. The kids love seeing the teachers outside the school and serving them and things like that. So, we are planning to have one every month for the rest of the year, but, those are just some ideas. So we will keep in touch with that. And then, okay, so just upcoming things that we have. So every year we do a family skate night, at Skate on Grand. We are looking at holding that again in May. That will be towards the end of the year, obviously. And then Mrs. Levat actually asked, apparently 5th grade students are already asking if they're gonna have their own kids' night out or day night out. Last year we did bowling at the Antioch Lanes, I think on like a Sunday afternoon or something. So we will definitely do another 5th grade night out only. So Mrs. Levat, if you want to get some idea, if you and the teachers want to get some ideas from the 5th graders of like what event they would like to do, we could definitely take them in consideration and get it some ideas. So just let us know. And then obviously we have Staff Appreciation Week in May. It's usually a big week for us. It's May 6th through the 10th. So, we will be having that. As far as away as it is, it will come up very fast. Oh, they wanted to bowl. Okay, we can look into bowling, do another bowling day with them. So awesome. We will look into setting up a date for that. So, and I think that's all we got for the events coming up that I haven't mentioned. Okay, and then grant requests. We did not have any current grant requests come in. So just keep in mind, don't forget to turn in your reimbursement checks or reimbursement receipts. And then just, yeah, upcoming, we had Kids Night Out, we have our dining event. And then, yeah, we're looking for, I have in April, the 11th is the showcase for 3rd through 5th. The 9th is Mary Kay McNeil, yep. And then we will have our final Kids Night Out for the school in April, and then we'll do a 5th grade night out or day out for bowling as well, most likely that month. So those are just some upcoming dates. And then we're up at open discussion. Any questions, ideas, or suggestions? Got a good half of the year left. Lots of things coming up, so. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm tired already.
I know. Okay. If you have any, then just, you can always shoot us an email or email us or message us on Facebook. But yeah, there's our contact information. And our next meeting is, it's not Monday, it's Tuesday, February 20th. Monday is the holiday, so we pushed it to Tuesday. So, thank you all for coming, and I appreciate you guys. I know I had to send out a last minute link because it wasn't working, but so thank you. Thank you all for coming. And we will see you guys next month.
Adjourn at
Meeting adjourned at 7:21.